One sector of the community that was hit hard by the pandemic was nonprofits. So, here to talk about the need is the CEO of the Alliance of Arizona Nonprofits, Kristen Merrifield. Now, Kristen, thanks so much for joining us to talk about such an important topic.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Can you explain to us what the Alliance of Arizona Nonprofits is?
Sure. So the Alliance was formed in 2004 to be the unifying voice of the nonprofit sector here in Arizona. Little do people know that there's actually 20,000 nonprofits in the state of Arizona. Yes, that's a big number. So a lot of organizations doing wonderful things in our community. And so the Alliance was formed to help them do that, to support their missions through things like training and education and advocacy.
Now, we know most businesses have been affected by the pandemic, but local nonprofits have been hit as well.
One thing I tell a lot of people that they don't think about the difference between the for-profit sector in a recession, which I think we all would agree we are in, and the nonprofit sector is that the for-profit sector, so our small businesses, our tourism, hotels, travel, all these different things, when a recession happens, their revenue goes down, of course, and their demand actually goes down as well. For nonprofits, their revenue goes down, but their demand actually goes up because more people are needing their services for the very first time. So nonprofits always see this double whammy where their revenue is going down, but expenses are actually increasing because more people are coming to them than ever before.
So as we look at the local nonprofits, is there one sector that has been affected more than another?
So I'm talking about two sectors that have been hit in different ways. You have the health and human services sector, which is actually what I would call the first responders in a time like this with this pandemic. They've never closed. Their demand is exponentially higher. Think of homeless shelters, think of domestic violence shelters. So they definitely have been asked to do a lot more than usual and maybe without a lot of increased fundraising or support. Then you have a sector like the arts and culture organizations who, while they're not on the front lines, they have had to close completely. So you can't go to theaters, you can't go to museums. So they're seeing this double whammy of decreased revenue and they haven't been able to remain open to earn revenue and take care of their employees.
You did a recent study that showed that local nonprofits are in need of PPE. Can you talk about that a little?
Yeah, what an acronym that none of us probably used in daily conversation until now. So personal protective equipment, the masks, the gloves, the temperature readers, all these things that a lot of nonprofits did not even have as a budget line item unless maybe they were in health. And now we need them and we need a lot of them. So the Alliance did that survey and we found out that there was about 50% of organizations that we either completely out or almost out of things like masks, surgical gloves, and especially cleaning supplies, which are still kind of hard to get. So we helped match them up with foundations, donors, corporate partners that had access to these and were able to connect with them to donate. But it's definitely still a need that we see that will be ongoing.
It's good that you're out there advocating for all the local nonprofits. Now, Kristen, we know that volunteers are really the lifeblood of so many nonprofits. Have you seen that volunteerism has declined, and are they leery to come back, or are they still needed?
Yeah, that was one of the shocking things that came out of the first report we did earlier this year. We looked at how many had furloughed employees, and the number was around 2,500 to 3,000. The number of volunteers that had been lost was over 35,000. And that was just from a small sampling of nonprofits. Some organizations have been really innovative and they've provided their volunteers an opportunity to volunteer remotely, to do things maybe they can do at home or do online. The faster we can get volunteers back working at an organization, even if it's in a different form, the better.
As we enter into the holidays, what is the greatest need for our nonprofits?
This is really a critical time as we enter this end of year giving when normally nonprofits see an increase of about 30% in giving. So we really want to remind donors that nonprofits still need you. It's more critical than ever that you support them however you can this holiday season, not only for themselves as organizations, but also to remember the folks that they are serving. They're also finding innovative ways to provide gifts to children or to provide meals to families during this time. So I'm sure that working together, we can make sure that this holiday season and this giving season doesn't disappoint and continues to support the important work in our communities.
Yeah, we're all learning to pivot and make things work this year, aren't we, Kristen?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like more information on how to help our nonprofits, just head over to the Alliance website.